Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Wemimo and I'm also known as Mom of 5 and I'm also known as TMO5 Kanduko. If you're new to my channel, welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for always coming back. So I don't know if you guys have seen the short video I dropped yesterday about a girl called Shanquella Robinson. It was the lovely 25-year-old girl who was beaten to death by our friends, by our university friends. So there were 6 of them, and they all traveled to Mexico to go celebrate a party. And at some point there was a video that came onto the internet of how one of our friends beat her. Like, this friend really messed her up. So she was so badly beaten that she suffered spinal injuries, and these friends lied when they called Shanquella's mom to say that Shanquella she's sick, that she's suffering from alcohol poisoning from excess drinking of alcohol. However, by the time this girl's body got to her parents, when the autopsy revealed that she was actually beaten to death. She suffered, I think, spinal cord injury and some neck injury. So that was what actually killed her. I'm going to leave that video in the cast for you so you could read. So I've been looking at my iPad here, and the latest information is that the Mexican authorities are now pursuing a case against the Americans suspected in killing Shanquella. So in here they says that they are looking to extradite the person. I think there's 2 people of interest out of their friends. So I think one was actually beating her a lot, and I think it was the second person that actually beat her that delivered the last blow that actually took Shanquella out. So the Mexican authorities are now looking to extradite these two persons of interest back to Mexico so they could face justice over their involvement in this 25-year-old girl's death. And you know what, it's just saying there here that, you know, on the other hand, the US government is going to take this seriously, and on the other hand, it's not obligated. So they are now saying that the US authorities are not obligated to hand over this person they are suspecting to have, you know, been the one to kill Shanquella. So why I've actually kind of like brought this back again was that it's like a real story time. So I remembered when I was in secondary school back home in Nigeria. I had a childhood friend, and yeah, we kind of like grew up together. When we were together, I mean, I think we met when we were like 7 years old in the same primary school, and we practically did everything together. We went to the same primary school together, we went to the same secondary school together. Our first jobs after secondary school were worked at the same place. In fact, we lived on the same street. And then she was living in a massive house. I used to see her as, you know, a rich man's child, because, you know, her dad's house was massive and my own house was quite small. I didn't have all she had, you know. And yeah, so and I remember when we were in secondary school, I knew she had a boy she was dating. Obviously, most of my friends started dating while we were in secondary school, but fear of my parents, I did not even think about having a boyfriend or even talking to a boy. So long story short, I married and I came into the UK. I already had my son. I already had my child, my first child then. And then there was this guy whom I said she was dating while we were in secondary school. And so I was online one day in the days of Yahoo Messenger, and this boy's message popped up on my Yahoo Messenger saying, "Oh, hi, Dupe, this is that this." And I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't remember who you are. And he did describe me, said that I was, let's call him K. And you were like, oh, and I was like, oh, hi K, how are you? That I'm surprised you remembered me. And you were like, oh, I remember you. You are so friend. I'm like, yeah, it's true. And you were like, oh, how is my friend? And I'm like, oh, she's fine. That me, I'm in the UK now with my husband and my children. That my friend is still in Nigeria, I believe. So, and I think but I know you people might ask that, how did you get to have him on your Yahoo Messenger? I remember before this guy, I think after I left Nigeria, my friend was like, oh, she had a misunderstanding with him, that do I mind sending him an email to kind of like, you know, talk to him. So that was how I had his email. So yeah, I think that was the first time me and this K had a chat, like say, no, my friend is still in Nigeria, I know she's single and stuff like that, but for me, I am married, I have my kids, and I'm with my husband in the UK. So that was that, done and dusted. And I was like, before that I was like, oh, are you hearing from her, have you communicated with her? Oh, he's not communicated with her in a long time. I'm like, all right, okay. So I think that was the first time I ever had a chat with K on my Yahoo Messenger. So that was done and dusted. And then I think a few months afterwards, my mom called me saying, oh, so person, let's give her a name, Bumi, that Bumi's parent came to our house, and that Bumi said I told K, who was going to marry her, that she's already married and I have kids. And I was saying to my mom that, me, when did I say that to K? That me, I told K that Bumi is married. I was like, no, I never had such conversation with that person. That this was what happened. I said to the K guy that me, I'm married, that I'm in the UK, and my friend Bumi is in Nigeria. That I never had the conversation saying that Bumi is married or have a child and stuff like that. Obviously, it was what she told her parents, and her parents came to my house to warn me that I am trying to stop their daughter Bumi from getting married. And I was like, this is your daughter that you are talking about. We communicate. Like, why would she think that I would say that to K? That because, I mean, by the way, this K guy was saying to me that it's been a long while he's communicated with my friend Bumi. So, and why is my friend Bumi, my childhood friend, of course, saying that I am telling K that she was married, she has kids and stuff like that? So I told my mom that, no, mom, I never had any conversation of sort with him and stuff like that. So that was it. And at first, when I heard that, I was so pained. I was so pained that my own childhood friend, someone I grew up with, who knew my house, who knew me inside and out, would think I would say that about her to somebody who was supposedly meant to marry her. And this boy is not even marrying her. They dated boyfriend, girlfriend while we were in secondary school. And she said that they had a fight, and this boy left Nigeria to go to the UK, and that was how they lost connection, that they never had a chat. In fact, when me and her were chatting before I had this chat with Kay, they've not communicated in years, and I don't think they've communicated at all. So she coming up saying that I said that to Kay. I was like, but this K guy, you told me you've not spoken to him in years. So I was upset. And I remember I was in a live chat, I think it was Choice TV's chat, and they were talking about friendship. And I was like, me, I barely make friends. Like, I don't open myself up for any closing or close friends. No, I don't make, like, I'm very wary of the kind of friends I make. And even when I make friends, I don't keep such friends that I'll be able to vomit all of my insight up to you. No, I'm very conscious about making friends, because that experience, it kind of like taught me. Like I said, I was saying that I felt I was really upset, really upset. And to me, I just felt that obviously my friend Bumi knows I am in the UK, I am married. I felt she was jealous. She was jealous of where I was, because obviously the kind of life she was living while we were in Nigeria in secondary school, I was not doing that. I was not following boys. In fact, I was not looked at as a pretty or fine babe. I was the ugliest among my friends. I've always said this, that I'm the ugliest. Like, when we go out, boys will look at my friends before they even look at me. And it doesn't matter to me, because, you know, I mean, the fear of my parents, I'm from a very strict home, so that the thought of having a boyfriend or even want to mix with the opposite sex was not even an option for me at all. So at some point, I was saying this to my husband, like, come, this was so, and you were like, why would she say that and stuff like that? I'm like, you should know me that I would never. So I was really upset. I was touched, and for me, I just knew in my heart that that friendship was over. It was over. So I think years later, my sisters were like, oh, they saw my friend Bumi and she was asking for my number. And I said to them, I categorically said to them, do not give her my mobile number. Do not, no matter what she says to use. And I told my mom as well, do not give my numbers to her. And then obviously maybe she tried to get my number from my sisters. They refused giving it to her. Then she sent me an email. I was still reading that email. Was it 3 days ago? And why did I read that email? It was because she made a comment on one of my latest pictures on Facebook. Coincidence? So, and I was just like, okay. I mean, obviously, from that email she sent me, so she sent me an email saying that, oh, she was apologizing, saying that, oh, she's so sorry, that she never knew, that she found out that Kate lied, that she found out that I never said anything of such to Kay. And I was wondering, how did you find out that I never said anything of such to Kay? What I noticed was that I did not think Kay went back to tell her this. She was the one who just came up with all of this stupid talk, just out of jealousy, because I am married, I have kids, I am where, obviously I'm where she would love to be, and she was not there at that point. So me saying it's not to brag, it's just to say you should be very conscious, wary of people you call your friends. This person I'm talking about was my childhood friends. I've known her since I was 7 years old. And for her to come and say this about me, I felt hot. I felt deeply hurt. I was like, no, I've forgiven you, but we can never be friends again. I remember in that email, I replied to her saying, no, I've forgiven you. In fact, I think I even sent her pictures of my kids that know these are my kids and stuff like that. But afterwards, there was never any communication between us. I think there was a time she came to London. She said she was in England or something, and I think some years back, maybe we had a chat when the set of my secondary school, we had a WhatsApp group. I think she joined the group at some point, and then we communicated briefly, and then we stopped communicating. So the friendship was damaged. It was damaged. So me sharing this story is just to let you know that, guys, if you want to make friends, be very, very wary of the kind of friends you're making. Families, siblings are actually, backbiting. They are dealing with each other. They are doing things in the back to their siblings. Talk more of someone who is meant to be a friend. So you can imagine Shanquella Robinson wouldn't have thought, if anybody ever said to her that any of her friends would raise their hands on her to the extent that her life was taken away. She would tell you that, no, think again. But these are the friends who were meant to be there for her. These were the friends who were meant to have her back. These were her friends who are meant to be like, no, before you get to my friend, you'll have to come through me first. But what happened? They actually were the ones who took her golden life away. And me looking at the story and everything that happened, it all stemmed from jealousy. They were jealous of this young girl. She's a smart, beautiful 25-year-old girl who has a blooming business she does. Like, she's smart, using her brain. What's stopping her other friends, or the friend in question who battered her to death, what's stopping her from doing something with her life? But obviously they've thought they can never amount to something. They were jealous of their friends who was making money, and at some point there was a news that they stole from Shanquella. If you're going abroad and if you're traveling with a huge sum of money, the customs will want you to declare how much you're traveling with. I guess from the declaration form she made, Shanquella was the one who paid for the villa that they were holidaying in Mexico. She paid. She actually paid for her dead flats. She paid for a room, for a villa of where she was murdered with her own money. So from the custom form, the amount she declared there showed that $10,000 was missing. Someone stole $10,000 from her. So guys, I just want us to be very, very careful. As I'm a mom with daughters as well, and I'm always saying this to my daughter, that please be careful the kind of friends you're making. Be very, very careful. Don't be too trusting of friends. Like, if you're going anywhere, always keep me, your mom or your dad, abreast of everything you're doing, everywhere you're going. If you meet anybody, I need to know who you are meeting. I need to know whom you've met. I need to know who your friends are. Bring them over, so as a parent we can assess them. Yeah, we cannot always know whom our children make friends with or go out with, but as a child, or as a female child, or as a male child, if you let your parents know the kind of friends you have, we have insights more than our children. We might be able to say, no, or be careful about that friend, don't be too trusting. We might be able to give such advice. It's just a shame that Shanquella Robinson lost her life that way, and I'm rooting for nothing more than justice for her, that those who were the culprits, those who delivered the blows that killed her, be brought to book, and they should not only serve their prison terms in Mexico. They should serve their prison terms in Mexico, and they should be taken to one of the hardest prisons, so they will know what life is. Because I just can't imagine, like, what could have driven them to do such. And in that video, there was a male who was like, "Oh, Shanquella, fight back," and she gently answered no. And she was beaten to her death. I just couldn't get. I watched that video, and obviously it's on my channel as well, and there's an age restricted limit on it. Yeah, I just couldn't take my mind off it, because it got me scared that such friends who could do that to her are already damaged. They shouldn't be in this society, but unfortunately they are in this society, and they've taken a life. They've put a family into a darkness forever. So what do you guys think? Do you really think that we should be trusting of friends? Do you think we should have friends that we can pour all our hearts to? Do you really think it's necessary that we have friends at all? Because nowadays if you see a snake and a friend, I think is that friend you should throw a knife or cutlass at before you go after the snake. That is my own philosophy now. If you see a snake and a friend, keep all your tentacles on that friend while you let the snake go, because that friend will kill you quicker than the snake. Anyway, this is the end of my video, and guys, like I said, leave your thoughts in the comment section. Let's debate, let's talk on, you know, share ideas, share minds on how we could make sure that our kids are safe. And if you're yet to subscribe to my channel, what are you waiting for? So don't forget to like, drop a comment in the comment section. Let's have a chat, turn on the post notification, subscribe if you have not yet subscribed, and also share this video, because we are all parents, we are in this society, and we all need to stay safe. And I hope to catch up with you in my next video. Have an awesome day wherever you are. Bye.